trying to widen or open up that cut on that corner, and the motor grader sits up pretty high, and the only thing you could see was the flash in light on top of the cab. I mean, that's how deep that cut is, and there's a lot of them out there. They're tough.
It is 9 o'clock.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome to the weekly Cudahy County Board of Commission weekly meeting. It is Tuesday, March 5th. We'll open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. And is it Lee's turn today?
He did last week.
Okay. You want to take it, Troy?
Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good to see everybody make it this morning. I didn't know yesterday afternoon or last evening if any of us would be able to make it. It was pretty tough out there. If you have a cell phone, please silence it or turn it off. And if you do get a call that you do need to take, please step out into the rotunda and take it so you don't disrupt the meeting. The meeting is being streamed live. So if you address the board, you for sure will be on the stream. Just a heads up so you know about that. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board with any issues that are not on the agenda? We will allow time for it during the open towards the end of the meeting. We wouldn't be able to act on anything, but we would certainly be willing and able to listen. Seeing none, is there any board members that have any conflict of interest with any of the items on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion at this time now to accept. I have a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Waterman and a second by Van Dusen.
Point of order, I made the motion.
I took Charlie's.
Make a motion we accept the
Yeah,
minutes.
I took Charlie's and second by Van Dusen. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just one thing we
Yep.
have to put onto the agenda the opening of the, thank you. We've got to put on the agenda the opening of the proposals for the jail health care. So it's, we're not taking action on it, just opening, so we can do that during the open. So we're going to open
Sure.
during the open.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I have another item for the open too, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Okay, thank you. Is there any other comments in reference to the agenda? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign, motion carries. How about the minutes of the February 26th meeting?
Approve his email.
Motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign, motion carries. Jody is not here this morning with extension, so we'll go right on down to Al, Vet Service. Good morning, Al.
Morning, Al. Good with that
Morning, Al.
beard, Al. Looks good. Turn on your mic there.
Okay,
Al.
February,
Turn on your mic, please. The
button.
There you go.
there we go. Can you hear me now? Okay, February, kind of a light office calls. We had 61 walk-ins and appointments, and one trip to Sioux Falls with 2 people. Due to the weather and closures and things like that, so.
All right, anybody have any comments, questions for Al? Anything? All right, Al, thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Stay warm. Let's go right on down to weeds, Steve. And I think while you're up here, we'll just go ahead and take item number 6 as well, which is action to approve the 2019 weed chemical spraying rates. So go ahead, Steve.
Well, of course, you know, the weeds is a little bit laying low, I
I
guess.
think you might be able to turn that down just a hair.
That better?
Is that better for you? Okay.
I speak a little loud sometimes anyway.
That's
Well,
fine.
I think Al turned it up. So. All right.
You know, of course, weeds are kind of laying a little low again underneath the snow. So, but this past month, since I met with you, I attended the weed conference. Very good weed conference. we did a mock weed board meeting and learned a little bit of how to conduct one. Of course, our mock one, I was the weed supervisor for the board meeting, and other ones volunteered as other board members. So we kind of ran all the way from the start of a meeting to doing a enforcement and the procedures of that. Also, several other speakers. One of the highlights probably was Melanie Weiss had spoke, and a lot of people were really involved in that and really quiet listening to her, and she had a lot of comments about her, or a lot of people commented about it after the conferences that we had. Also, at the meeting, John Ball had spoke a little bit about the Emerald Ash Borer. Of course, I had my weed meeting this past Wednesday, and I had Brenda talk pretty well, kind of almost from what John had spoke about at the conference. So going to the weed meeting, I'm glad that some of you could attend and so like that. I have learned that I have to get some more sandwiches next year. I was ran a little short.
You have the same amount you did the
I have the
previous
same
years.
amount as I've always had previous years, but I think the colder weather has gotten people a little more, a little hungrier. That was well attended. Over 40 some people, and so we had what I figured of what was not registered and stuff. So, as far as coming up, I'll be working again on a little bit on the right-of-ways this coming month. Plus, I will be attending a couple of the local close weed board meetings of the adjoining counties and so on here in the next week or so.
Okay, good. And it was a good weed meeting you had the other night, and I didn't eat any sandwiches.
You didn't show up in
I
time.
apologize. I got there, I had another meeting I had to attend, and so I got there just a little bit late, but I did get a bowl of chili, so that was good. Any questions?
I would
for
comment also, it was very interesting on Brenda's report on that.
Right, and that's why I kind of, it was, you know, it popped up last spring in Sioux Falls area, and that's why I wanted to speak on it, because, you know, a lot of people have really asked a lot of questions about that. Also with Paul speaking on the Palmer Amaranth, it kind of get people to insight, yes, it is an issue, but there's actually, we have more issues than the Palmer to concern about, really.
It's pertinent to the times, and is that way people get an overview of what to look for and that sort of thing.
Correct.
When you mail out those invitations, who all receives those invitations?
I try to turn around and get them to all the township weed board members, and so I had found out a couple of them didn't get one. I'd have to double check. There's probably one got skipped or something, but.
How about on the township side? Who do you mail those out to?
I mail it to every board
Every
member.
individual?
Every individual, yes. That's what I try to do, so.
All right.
Are we thinking that the emerald ash borer is going to be neutralized because of the cold temps, the freezing temps? I had heard a news story, I believe, a while back that if it got so cold that it would kill the larvae.
Well, that's one of the things that was at the meeting. So it will kill some, a certain percentage. It has to be below, you know, I think it was, she gave like 20 below for a few days. It will take the mortality down like 80%, but they gave a lifeline. Still yet in 5 years, if you had everything that took care of it naturally, you'll still end up with, I think, over 1,000 some females in that, from 1 year of one female. In 5 years, you still have over 1,000 some females. So
Wow.
it will hit in time. In fact, you know, they talk about cold. Winnipeg has it up in Winnipeg, so they get colder yet.
It's wishful thinking.
So it's just a matter of time. A lot of communities are looking at their ash trees and which ones to take away. You know, they kind of described the other night of certain trees, you know, okay, do you want to keep this one or this one? And it's just more or less, if you are thinking about it, to take one out and replace it with something else, you know, something that's not going to be, that don't look near as nice. So this treatments can cost $100 to up to $300 per tree per year. So it can get kind of spendy.
Good. Anything else? Any other questions for Steve? All right, with that being said, let's go on down to item number 6, and that's action to approve the 2019 weed chemical spraying rate. In your packet, you do have a readout. Steve, you want to go over that, whatever you wish to?
I can go over it, or else if you want to, if anybody's had time to look at it, to accept it. The only really changes is just from this year's bid prices and stuff like that.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Second.
document that was included in our packet.
I have a motion by Hatton, a second by Gable. Any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right. We
Thank
took care of
you.
that, Steve. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Steve.
Stay warm. All right, let's go on with the sheriff now. Morning, Brad.
How's it going today?
Well, we're
Brad.
here.
We're here.
Yeah. You bet.
Still cold.
Got a whole ream of stuff with me here today.
And while you're up here, we'll take item number 7, which is that job description for that security person.
7 through 10
Yeah, I
for
see. I
Brad.
think I got a few.
Oh, yeah, he does have a bunch of them.
It's Brad. Oh, sorry.
You got me too.
There you go.
Let me project that.
Well, to get started, should we start with our monthly balance sheet while Lee's firing up the supercomputer there to get us
Supercomputer.
the screen up? On the very first page there, our monthly balance sheet for January, our ending bank balance of January 19 was $8,181.35. We collected $44 in copy fees, $7,052.85 in sheriff's fees, and in warrant fees, $495. Grand total, $7,591.85. Flip her open to the next page. These guys are pulled up on the big screen there. You'll see the sheriff's office activity there, cases and calls. In January, we responded to 567 cases and calls, 7 accidents, 83 warrants served, 232 civil papers served, and transport miles. We did 6,091 transport miles. We transported 26 people all around in those 6,091 miles. If you jump on down to the middle there for our jail activity, our average daily population for January was 63.97. Our high average daily population was 69. 60 was our low. We have 18 people on the scram bracelet. We have 66 people on the twice daily, I should say, PBTs. And the twice weekly UAs, we have 67 people. 0 people on the sweat patch, and 246 bookings, for a grand total of 151 people in the 24/7 program in January. Just scroll down just a little bit more. On some of the fees we collected, on the out-of-county contracts, in January we collected $12,870.29. Work release fees was $6,920. 24/7 fees, $5,855. And scram fees was $4,159 collected. Just talk about a couple of things that we've been kind of going over the last month here before we jump onto the next few topics here. We just recently had a flood meeting with the city and county officials and the National Weather Service, just to kind of update the county and the city officials kind of what may potentially be happening here in the future. So we designated roles for everybody's position of what we're going to be doing, just to kind of do some pre-planning on that. So we're going to continue to monitor incoming snow, and hopefully we don't get a whole bunch of rain this spring. So Hope Court, I don't know if you guys have heard of Hope Court. That's something that the Sheriff's Office and the jail, we've just started taking place in February here, beginning of the month. We don't have any people that have been testing as of yet. We're assisting the court service officers with that on holidays and the weekends in the jail. So our UAs, our numbers are going to continue to rise with that program once that starts getting into effect here. So that's a program that we're assisting the courts in, just to try to reduce that number of people that are in our facility.
Just a question, Mr. Chairman. So is that part of the 24/7 program, or is it just using
That
the
is a
24/7?
separate program, and we'll just be using staff to come in and do the UAs. So
Okay.
it's separate from the 24/7 program. It's actually a court program, a probation program, that we're just going to be assisting with them. So more.
This is the one that Judge McCann started?
Yep, this is the one that Judge McCann is starting. So.
Does HOPE stand for something? Is that what you said is HOPE?
HOPE, yep.
Okay.
It
I-
does. I can't remember what it stands for. though.
Okay,
It's a program that started in Hawaii by a judge down there, and it's something that they've been trying. And just another similar program, similar to 24/7. They have to come in and randomly test on a urine analysis. They have a computer program that's run by the courts. And once you're enrolled in this program, let's say your color is yellow, and you call in the morning and your color gets called, yellow is the color of the day, you have X amount of time to show up and do your test.
So, and then,
HOPE probation.
Mr. Chairman, so the randomness is how it differs from other 24/7 programs, is kind of part of it.
Yep, it's a little bit different than the other 24/7 programs, is the randomness. It might be a couple weeks before you get called, it might be every day, depending on the randomness of your drawing, of your color.
It says-
What group of people are involved in this?
These are people that the courts set to this program. It's not the lower offenders, it's the middle class, the ones that probably shouldn't, that didn't quite make drug court or vet court. It's kind of that middle class they're trying to hit there. So
This is
a little bit.
a spin-off from drug court, basically. It's kind of another.
Enhanced version of the 24/7 program with court and CSO supervision,
Yeah.
basically.
They have to be,
It's a probation program instead
Intensive,
of a, yeah.
I'm just looking at it online, an intensive probation
Yeah.
program.
So it's so they've already been, it's post-dispositional, it's not
Yeah,
predispositional,
it's
so.
post-disposition, after they've been sentenced.
Right,
The
okay. So
judge
it's-
sentenced them to this and probation.
So whereas the 24/7 program can be a bond condition, it can be it's a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Bond
This is a bit
actually-
more specific.
Yeah, on the 24/7, you would actually probably test a little more often than you
Right.
would on the whole probation.
so they're actually, can't get into that program unless the judge does the appointment.
Yeah, that's the same as the 24/7 as well, though. You gotta,
Voluntold.
yeah, you gotta be appointed by the judge to be on that program. So whether it's for bond or for sentencing.
Yeah.
but-
Same thing with drug court.
And they pay for their own testing, just like the 24/7?
The courts, if I'm correct, the courts pay for that
I
testing.
think that's what Judge
It's a
McCann said.
probation
Yeah, I believe
program,
that's,
yeah.
I believe that's true.
So, there should be no fees to the county except for staffing, just to make sure that we can get them through their UAs.
Another alternative.
Another alternative to try and see what happens, so.
But what happens if, let's say it's yellow day today and you're supposed to have 10 come in and only 8 show up? Do you go out and get them, or how are they contacted, or what happens?
That's when law enforcement goes on the hunt.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to go and find that person and bring them in and as a failed test.
They don't wear a GPS tracking bracelet?
They do not unless the probation officers want them to. I mean, it's potentially that they could, but that'd be, I'd say it's a probation program.
So, and the judge might order it too, I suppose.
Yeah, the judge may order GPS as well. That's a possibility. So, yep.
Good, okay. Let's go on then to, job description is in your packet for a courthouse security position. And Judge Brad was involved in putting this together. Is there any questions on that? Brad, you want to explain just exactly the highlights of this new
Well,
position?
The new position that we're looking at here is for the court security position. With the remodel that the commissioners, you guys just approved and went through with the courthouse design down here, That was an alternative, and we decided to go ahead with that job description, or the court security booth, I should say. Part of this would be the job description for that person that would man that booth. As you can see, kind of went through and kind of gave a description of what that person would be doing. Like for that person to be a 40-hour full-time position. It would be paid at the same rate as a correctional officer. It is not a full-time certified deputy position. It's a security officer position.
So I move to approve.
Second that?
We have a motion by Gable, second by Hanton. Discussion. My discussion would be, now, was this included in the budget for 2019?
This is in the budget. This is a budgeted item, yes.
Is this a full-time employee
This
with
is a
benefits?
full-time employee with benefits.
Okay.
So, but we talked about some of the, how would this affect your part-time employees at all?
Yes, right now, for 2019, I budgeted for 3 part-time employees. I have 1 part-time employee that's actually leaving us. His wife got a job somewhere else, so he will be moving here in the next couple weeks, which will leave me with 1 part-time deputy position. I plan on taking them 2 other part-time deputy positions and combining them into this full-time position, which would actually save the county a little bit of funds by having a full-time person in this position. And it would give a little more continuity with that position as well. The same person would be there. It would flow a little bit more smooth.
Okay, any more questions?
Brad, will this position, you said they won't have the powers of arrest, they're not certified law enforcement. It's
They're not-
basically a
not
security
certified.
position.
It's a security
So if they
position.
run into an issue at the checkpoint, they call for a deputy.
They would
who
call
comes
for
and
law
handles
enforcement to make an arrest and to continue on.
Okay.
The person's goal up here is just court security,
Security.
courthouse security. Making
Okay.
sure that no weapons and bombs, bazookas, all the bad stuff doesn't make it through.
Is this an armed
court.
position?
This will be an armed position. So they'll still have to go through our department training. So,
Okay, any other questions? Any more questions? Any more comments? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, same sign, motion carries. Let's go to number 8 then.
I'd like to go ahead and start advertising for this sooner than later. Is that okay if we go ahead and
Yeah.
start with the hiring process?
I don't think we need to include that in the.
Normally, it is an agenda action item to authorize somebody to advertise.
Okay,
I mean,
Can we get it on
It's
there
up
for
to you.
next week?
yeah,
Okay. Is that okay, Brad? We do that
I
for
would-
next week?
if-
or-
Is it possible I start advertising maybe for 2 weeks, and then we can approve it next week, just so I can get it out there and get it going? Is that something that, 'cause I'm just looking at time frame, because we got to get this person trained, and then by the time we get it up and going,
Well,
we're getting
whatever
shorter on
the-
time. Or is that something that's,
well,
Going to be declared an emergency.
you can
sort of?
declare an emergency and do it, yeah.
I'll
Looking at
make
the
that
time
motion
frame.
to declare it. I'll add it to my motion as an emergency.
I'll second it.
okay, so,
Actually,
No, you made
okay,
the
I'll modify my motion to declare an emergency so you can list the position.
you want to
Nice.
modify it or you want to amend it?
Well, or amend, yeah, amend.
And I'll
Amend is the
second
proper
that.
term, you're right, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have amendment
And I
of the
second
motion.
So
Is there-
basically-
and Brenda
I
is the
second it. I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
so to
Okay.
approve the duty description and authorize posting of the job announcement.
Okay, any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, amendment carries, and we already voted on the motion. We kind of did it backwards.
A little bit.
We can make, okay, all in favor of the motion then?
Well, no, you've
Let's
already
just do it.
voted on
We
the
did it. We
motion.
did it once,
I'll
yeah.
just doctor it up.
Yeah. Doctor it up. All right, let's go to number 9, action to authorize application of grant funds.
Number
for-
8.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped to 9. Number 8, action to approve a restroom project for the detention center. That has been brought to our attention a couple of weeks ago. How's that going?
I've actually got bids in for the plumbing. It came in a little higher than expected, but we do have budgeted funds for that. I was looking at taking them out of the 24/7 fund because this is going to be a 24/7 project for more UAs. And also with this Hope Court, more UAs coming up here, I'm looking at installing a small little bathroom, doing a little remodel in the jail there, just to keep people from actually having to come all the way through the jail facility for safety and security of the jail. So this should speed up the process of the urine analysis, 24/7 program. The bid for the plumbing, the lowest bid came in at $5,600 with Warney Plumbing and Heating. They're on board to go ahead and start that project. Justin, one of my maintenance guys, he gave me a quote of about $500 for supplies for him to build the wall so we could do some of the work in-house here.
Make a motion to approve those bids and for the restroom project.
We have a motion by Hanton, a second by
I'll second.
Gable. Any discussion? Any questions? And I know you had described and explained the situation or the project earlier at another earlier meeting.
Where would that actually go? I'm trying to remember.
The 24/7 office room right out
Right.
the main jail lobby there.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a little bump out into the booking room.
Okay.
A small little room off there, and the door will be in that, right off that 24/7 coordinator's office.
So about where the lockers are now? Or-
Yep, it'll bump out right next to the ITV room. It'll
Yeah.
be in that corner, there'll be a little bump out.
Perfect.
It'll still be secure.
It'll still be secure.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, any more questions? Any more questions? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Now we'll go to number 9. Action to authorize application of grant funds for vests for reserve, and these I imagine are bulletproof vests.
Yep, I would like to apply through the Watertown Community Foundation for funds for bulletproof vests for my reserve officers.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
We have a motion by Van Duzen, a second by Charlie. Any questions?
How many of those are you looking for, Brad?
6.
6. And
How much
every
they
5
cost?
years that you replace those, roughly?
Yep, every 5 years.
How many?
They're
how-
around $600 to $650 a piece.
Is that a matching grant, or is that 100%?
I'm hoping it's 100%.
Okay.
So, because I'm going to ask for the full amount. So
Do you ever apply for the federal grant for ballistic armor?
we do. It's been a couple years since we have, but we bought a lot of our SWAT and tactical vests through that program.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions? Any more comments? Any more questions? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Number 10 is Brad's as well, action to authorize application of 24/7 grant funds.
All right, well, this grant here, I'd actually applied for it a little while ago. One of those grants that just come up and didn't have a whole lot of time to come up and get permission, so I just had my chief jailer go ahead and apply for it. Then I forgot about it, but I'm up here because we did get approved for $15,000 from the state on this 24/7 staffing grant. What I plan on doing with this $15,000 is supplementing our 24/7 program to help out with these UAs, as you can tell by my report, and then also taking on this HOPE probation extra work there. It's going to be a little bit more taxing for the staff, so I'd like to start using these funds, these $15,000 funds, for using existing part-time staff towards that program, 24/7 program.
Make a motion to.
So we need a motion to authorize a grant that we've already received.
Let's just have a motion to accept
I made a motion.
the $15,000
Okay,
24/7 grant.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Hanton, second by Gable. Any discussion?
Is this a yearly sort of grant that we're going to be able to apply for? Or?
The state occasionally comes out with a grant. It's been several years since they've done that. I think it's after they build up so much money in the state coffers that they'll push something out. We were one of just a few counties in the state that were able to get some of this funding, so.
Any more questions for Brad?
Once again, is that a matching grant? Is that?
This is just, they gave us $15,000 for staffing,
Okay.
A one-time thing.
a one-time thing. Like I say, there may be in the future a chance where we can apply for another amount, but as of right now, this is a one-time $15,000, so.
Okay, any more questions for Brad? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, thank you, Brad. I think that takes care of all the items that we have for you. And
All right.
how's the accidents,
Well, that's
Every
one
day.
thing. I know everybody's sick of winter.
Yeah.
I know my guys, and I'm sure Rick's guys are getting a little taxed here with the snow that keeps on coming in, but that's a good testament to having good staff and good equipment. Keep on going, so.
Well,
Don't
be
have a
careful
choice.
and tell everybody, or your staff and everybody, thank you for all the hard work that they're doing and extra hours I'm sure they're putting in. We appreciate it. All right, let's go to item number 11, action to award bids for highway pole building. Rick?
Morning, Rick.
I have a call into the legislative audit with Rod Fortin, so I'd like to table the pole building until next week.
And what was your question with him?
The low bidder did not have everything in the specs that I had given them. So I need to find out a little more, and some of the other ones didn't have anything. They just gave us a price, so I don't know.
I'll make a motion to postpone till next week.
A motion by Gable to postpone
Second
till
that.
next week. Will that be
Yep.
enough time?
Hopefully, yes.
And a second by Hatton. Any more discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Keep those roads open.
I'll try.
Thanks for all the work you're doing, and I'm sure that these guys are getting in a bunch of overtime and weekend work and night work and whatever, and,
They've been putting in plenty of hours.
yeah. All right, let's go on then to, number 12. That's action to appoint a county commissioner to the board of the Watertown Development Company. I think last week Cindy had a letter from them. You want to?
I had an email from Chris Shilkin. With the changes to the Watertown Development Company bylaws, they have made Cottington County a standing member of the WDC board. And they will need this board to select who they want as their representative to sit on the WDC board. The next meeting is Wednesday, March 13th. They meet every other month on the second Wednesday.
All right, you heard the request. Is there,
I guess I would be interested in sitting on that board. I have attended all the annual meetings and so forth that they have had, so I guess I've been involved with this already.
and I know Troy has approached me that he would be interested in serving on this board as well.
That's correct.
So that being said, is there anyone else that would like to sit on that board? Charlie?
No, thank you. Are you looking for nominations?
I suppose we're going to have to go through that process, yes.
Then I would nominate Troy.
Okay, we have a nomination for Troy. Is there a second to that nomination?
I don't think.
Are there any more nominations? Are there any more nominations? Are there any more nominations? Seeing none, all in favor of Troy filling that slot, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
No?
Okay, we have 4 ayes and 1 no, and so at this time, Troy will be the one that fills that position. Will that go on
very much.
like the duties of the commissioners?
More than likely, it will be added.
Sure.
I mean,
Yep.
we can, and then we talk about it every year.
And then every year we'll review it on
And I
a
guess
yearly basis.
yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go number 13, action to request to use a courtroom to allow the USD School of Law trial team to conduct practice sessions, and this is a request by Judge McCain. And you all know as much, you saw the letter. The letter's in your packet from Judge McCain and
I think it's McCann.
McCann. Any questions? Anyone have any questions about that? What room would they like to use?
That just says one of the courtrooms.
One of the courtrooms?
I'll
and
make a motion that we allow them to use the courtroom for
I'll
their...
second it.
We have a motion by Hatton, a second by Gable. Any discussion?
They will be responsible for, Judge McCann and Public Defender Mindy Werder will be responsible for letting the 4 students into the courthouse and ensuring that everything is in place when they leave.
And it appears as though this
Building
is
will
just
not be open to the public.
one weekend, the
Yes.
weekend of March 16th.
Yes.
Yeah. Should be a good experience for them.
Absolutely.
Any more discussion? Any other comments? And they'll coordinate that with the custodial staff and the
The
clerk of
custodial,
courts and-
nobody else will need to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, then we're going on number 14. This is to discuss possible action to approve memorandum of understanding presented by Midwest Developers. And we have them here. Come forward and
Good morning, Amy.
please introduce yourself so the press will know who we have up here.
Yes, my name's Amy Mosley. I'm here representing Midwest Developers, Inc.
And,
And from the Register of Deeds Office.
thank you, Ann. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning.
In your packet is the memorandum of understanding. And is that what you're going to go with, what from?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yep.
So we'll follow along.
Yeah, that's the latest update that we've agreed upon. One thing I know when you brought, Amy was up yesterday and brought a copy with signatures on, and I had discussed with Tom as far as this being crossed out.
Yep, and
why
yep.
is that?
Well, because it already up in number 10 says Don Lake personally guarantee, or quarantine the Midwest
Okay.
as performance, so,
Because he wanted that to be individually.
okay.
That,
I guess
mean,
it's an
that's his-
employee, and if you have First Dakota that has an individual that is guaranteed their work up here too, then we're fine with that.
Yeah.
But she's an individual, she works for us.
Because
So
the reason he is saying that is because she's the one with the
License.
actual certification and the license. That's why
Right.
he is requesting it individually.
She's an employee of ours, of Midwest Developers, so.
I'm
Yeah.
just going by what Tom
Yep.
said yesterday.
I would say we would go with what our attorney has advised
Okay.
us to do, because this is the memorandum, it's not
Okay.
any other sort of.
So if I
document.
have her sign this today without the, with the individually on there, then we'd like
Should
to
be
set
okay.
it to vote, yes.
So
Okay.
I will make a motion then to approve this memorandum of understanding with the correction on the signature
Okay.
portion.
And
What about the billing?
The billing, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's okay to leave it at the weekly.
We're fine. We had agreed
Okay.
on monthly,
Okay.
but they put in their weekly, so we're
All right.
fine.
just so everyone can hear you and understand you, the correction on the signature, say.
The correction on the signature, Tom prepared it under Dawn's name as stating individually, basically because she is the one with the certificate, so she's the one guaranteeing.
So can we scratch that individually?
No, we
No,
don't
no,
want to
we
scratch
Oh,
it.
okay, we want that in there. All
Right.
Just- That's why I asked.
So she
the
had
question.
signed that, just
Right,
crossed
because
off
the one that was brought in
individually, right?
yesterday was
Okay.
scratched out. So he does not want that scratched out.
Okay.
And then, yeah, because what I do for abstractors moving forward is we bill, and everybody that charges, we bill monthly. And that's for the ongoing, but Tom suggested the weekly within this project for being billed weekly.
Until they're up in a plant, and once they
Right.
get that, then we'll
Yeah.
go to the
Then we will
monthly
go
billing
monthly.
cycle.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right.
One
clarification.
thing that I wanted to make aware of the digital, when we talked to
Yeah,
Tyler, there is a glitch within that system that they are working on.
okay.
So as far as getting the 2001 forward, that could take a little bit
Okay.
because they have to work on the issues with that for
Okay.
us being able to export them.
So we came up to get the images, and then out of the 10,000 pages in a book, correct? There was only
Right.
5,000.
It only did half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we need to have a complete book, because we
Yeah.
won't know which ones are not there then.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're fine with waiting. We
Okay.
do have our scanners coming this afternoon. Ann knows that. And we'll start scanning documents this afternoon. So I'll get her the
Do we
agreement
have
with.
her certificate?
And so the certificate is on the state website, and you've gotten that from the state that says, they don't do certificates usually, I mean.
I have a certificate from First
Yep,
Dakota.
and they're reissuing it, which she said. So they're
Okay.
preparing it out of Spearfish, the office of the Board of Abstractors. She's on the state board. They said she's a licensed abstractor. They just were waiting for the copy to come to us.
Okay.
So there's an actual list of registered. Yes, so she is definitely, she's been since '06. So,
Okay.
yep.
And you're going
So
to be setting up in the basement? Is
Yeah,
that
in the
plan
basement
still?
today, yep.
Okay, any more questions?
Are we all okay with this?
Yep, I'm good with that, yep.
Okay. I made the motion, was it seconded?
I think
I'll second.
we have a motion by Hammond, a second by
I'll second.
Van Duzen. Any more discussion? Good discussion. Been working on this for a
A
while.
while, yeah, thanks you guys, so
It's,
appreciate you doing
good
this
that we're
today.
bringing this to an end here. Any more questions
All right, so
or
it does
comments?
say that, it does say within here that the certificate of registration will be provided to the Register of Deeds before commencing copying. Are we clear on that?
So we're okay with waiting until
I mean,
she gets the
The
duplicate?
state board has said, and there is a registered list right now you can
But,
view.
I mean, the wording in this
Yeah.
MOU is.
Well, and it's in the resolution as well.
Right.
How long does it take to get a copy of the certificate?
Well, that's
What's
what
the holdup?
they don't know. See, that's the thing, it's the state board, so she said it could take up to 4 to 6 weeks. And so it's,
Yeah.
I mean, the state has sent a message.
I don't know how you can.
We knew this
I
going-
don't know how you can approve this MOU if you don't follow it. It's my
Right.
Yeah.
point, is what I'm
Well,
pointing
what
out.
was in the resolution? That was something like that as well.
I don't know
With
if that
the
was in the
fee
resolution.
part?
Commissioner Waterman, you had a question.
Well, there's
Yeah,
we, Jenny, that's sort of.
this was known going into this, and that we needed this piece of documentation from the state. And there's rules that are set up that we've got to follow. And so therefore, I think we
The
should
resolution-
stick with those rules.
Resolution just says providing proof thereof.
Yeah, and
It
we
is
do have
not-
proof thereof, and so we can get documents right now. She can call and say she wants these documents. She's a licensed abstractor.
So the resolution contradicts the MOU.
Yes. And it's a written document that says, and the state will say that they're just providing the certificate. So it's not I mean, there is written documentation that she is.
We have the documents, we don't have the hard copy of the certificate, is all we don't have, is that right?
Right.
Are we gonna be breaking the law if we pass this?
I'm just telling you what's written in your MOU.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out, you know?
So,
So we can't really approve this MOU if we don't have,
Well, you can
You would
approve
have-
the MOU, but nothing can start until that certificate is in Ann's hands.
Where does it say that, for the certificate, what
It's on page,
what
or
number?
section 8.
Section 8.
before commencing copying. And this is all about the abstractors rate.
Oh, the certificate.
how does that, and you said that conflicts with the MOU? As long as we wait
No,
for the
this is
certificate?
the MOU. It
I mean,
conflicts with
it
what the
conflicts with
resolution
I'm sorry, the
says.
resolution, yeah.
Yeah.
In what sense, that we shouldn't even approve it before?
This is the resolution. The resolution says providing proof
Well, it would have to be amended.
to the Register of Deeds.
The MOU would have to be
And
amended.
this
The
says-
resolution just requires providing proof. It doesn't say how that proof has to come.
So as long as
Shall we
wait-
have?
But that's for establishing the fees.
Yeah.
This was,
Yeah.
this has nothing to do
So
with
if
the
we,
MOU.
here's what we'll do, is we will call the state, and as soon as we get a signature, I want you to see if you would vote, if we get a signature and her abstractor certificate, that we can commence copying. So we will get both those things before we start.
I think that's the safe way of doing it.
Yeah, since it says that in the MOU, we would.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do
So-
both, and then, but if
Okay.
you'll vote that we can do that once we start, that
You
would
can,
be great.
yeah, you can approve the MOU. It's
It's
in
just
the MOU.
those documents will have to be.
So we do have a
Okay.
motion and a second
Have a
to,
motion and a second to approve
My
that.
only thing is that we have 5 scanners coming up today from Omaha. If we can just put the boxes in the basement to store them
Yeah, that
until we
should
get
be
such
fine.
time, because he's drove all the way up here to drop those by.
Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Good discussion, though. Glad that that was pointed out. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, number 15, action to approve change orders for courthouse remodel project. What you got, Lee?
I got a change order just before the meeting started, and it deals, Mr. Chairman, and it deals with the need to partition the vestibule as part of the security checkpoint. It includes some additions on the higher parts of the wall going to the ceiling, but so I'd like to study part of that. So what I'm going to ask for is to be able to approve part of this. I already talked to the contractor, emailed the contractor to say we're okay just to approve part of this so we could get those parts on order. And that's the main part of the partition wall. I can show you what I haven't had a time to crunch it, but it should fit within our,
Doing that's not going to screw up the circulation or the heat or cooling or the...
No, that's one reason, that's another reason to study that. So basically you see the security walls out there, and there's a space between the top of the wall and the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at how to deal with that space in certain places. So the overall amount of this change order is above $11,000. So, but I'd like to study part of that. I asked the contractor if we could go ahead and approve this part of it, and this is just the main part of that security wall. So kind of like what you see down there I can show you what I'm talking about. There's a picture. So just that part of it that would go into the across that vestibule. So I'd like to and I asked if we can just partially approve it, do this, so this can get on order, because this takes some time for these things to get ordered. And the amount for just that portion is $3,960.40, which is on that page there. So this is PR 21, so it'll be a partial improvement of PR 21, just to cover the main security wall. You're furrowing your brow, Madam Auditor. And the amount would be $3,960.40.
You're looking for a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Gable, second by Waterman. You made the second, right? Any
So
more
we're
discussion?
not partially approving. We're going to have a motion and a second to approve a portion of.
Okay, a portion
Okay?
of. Okay.
I don't want
Okay.
partially
Yeah,
approved.
yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
All right,
very
and that
good.
was Gable and Waterman?
Yeah, very good
Okay.
catch. Thank you. So,
All right.
a portion of. Yeah,
All right,
Yeah,
got it.
thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for that clarification. So, and these things take a while to get ordered, so that's why I wanted to take care of that. The other part of it would probably be, the quotes are from a local vendor, so I think we would have time to work on that. But I wanted to study the other part of the change order to make sure I understood what it was. So this part I can clearly understand. And in case you're wondering how it affects the overall project budget, this still would come in under, given the amount we've saved with other change orders, this would still come under. So, but with the additional part, it might get us kind of close, so, but anyway.
Okay, any more discussion? Any questions? Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 16, we have any claims for payment?
Nothing for 16 or 17.
All right, let's go to 18 then. Action to approve personnel changes, and we have a couple of them in your packet.
First one is Steve DeVille. He is being hired as building maintenance at Memorial Park. He'll start on April 1st at step 6, $17.75 per hour. This is a seasonal position. Kathy Young is a civil process coordinator in the sheriff's office. She's due her anniversary step increase to step 13, $21.71 per hour. Christy Gass is the records manager in the sheriff's office. She's due her anniversary step increase to step 12, $24.14 per hour. Steve Lowry is a deputy sheriff. He's due an anniversary step increase to step 5, $24.26 per hour.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by
Van Duzen.
Van Duzen, second by Commissioner Waterman. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I did not see any travel requests.
No travel requests.
So let's go on then to number 20. Note the Easter closures. And again, we follow the state as we have in the past, right, Cindy?
Correct. The state, our policy is to follow closures, office closures for the state as the state of South Dakota, we've received word from Governor Noem's office that she is granting administrative leave to state employees on Good Friday, April 19th, and Easter Monday, April 22nd. So we don't need to take any action, just want to make people aware that the building will be closed.
Closed
And all
all
county
day.
offices.
Closed all day both days.
Yes, yeah.
Good Friday and Easter Monday. Very good. We don't need to use those for snow days makeup. That's good. Number 21, old businesses. Does anyone have any old or mature business to bring to the board at this time?
I do.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to mention once again about the VITA program through ICAP. This is an effort to help individuals that are households under $54,000, and they are not able to file the more complex returns, but all other ones, if you fall within that salary category, the number you can call is
And this
the
is
Watertown
to help them
office.
with their income
Income
tax filing?
Yep,
Okay.
the VITA is the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, and then they
Okay.
are all trained to do this as well. And the office number is 886-7674. And this is a separate program than what they're doing up at LATI. This is this program. You can go most day hours. They're from 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever it is for sure. But those are day hours that they are able to help.
All right. Anything else for old business? Seeing none, let's go on to new business. Anything for new business? Seeing none, let's go on then to the open, and as I mentioned earlier, Lee, you had something, right?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Looks like we have one proposal. This is for the jail health care. So today was the scheduled day for opening those proposals, so we got one in. And so I'm opening the proposal during the regular meeting of the county commissioners. So, and then there should be a copy for each one of us to review the proposals. And then the target award date is, I want to say, about March 19th. So that's just the target. So we'd have 2 weeks to take a look at these.
There'll be a copy in there for the sheriff and head jailer as well.
I think there's 6 copies, so there's enough to, we might have to make a few ourselves, but anyway, and it's from, looks like it is from MendCare, correctional care out of, I believe they're out of St. Cloud, or Sartell, Minnesota. So, anyway, so I pass a few of those around. You know, might need to make, but we'll need to make some copies, so take a look at that and see, so just to refresh everybody's memory, what this is, and we can also maybe make a copy for the auditor's office if anybody wants to take a look at what we're looking at, if anybody from the public wants to do that. And then what this is trying to achieve some cost efficiencies in the jail as we provide inmate health care. And that's as people might know, that's one of the largest operational expenses for the jail when you deal with, emergency room visits, medications, and all those things. And so this is just looking at a way that maybe we can approach it a bit more cost effectively, or hopefully a lot more cost effectively.
All right, and what did you say a target date would be?
2 weeks from now. Yeah,
Get it
March-
on the agenda for 2 weeks?
Yeah, March 19th, most likely. So
Do we
we'll
want-
see. Yeah, we'll see how it looks, but that's the target. The way the RFP reads, it just says target date is March 19th. So if we want to have a little bit more time to do that, I mean, sooner is obviously better, so that we can.
So in 2
be
weeks,
doing
could
this.
we put discussion and possible action?
Yeah, that'll work.
I have it.
Will that work?
I have it already down.
Okay, very good. All right. Anything else, Lee?
That's it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. I was in communication with Milo, and And Milo he wouldn't be able to be here to explain this or to go over this, but wanted to give us commissioners a heads up. He said he'd be here on, I think, March 28th or something like that. I don't know when his report date is or due date anyway. Anyway, this is from a company called, referred to as, it's spelled R-E-N-O-D-R-Y, R-E-N-O-D-R-Y USA. And the gentleman by the name of Don Brown. And I'll just read, I'll try to skip through some of this. It says, hi, Milo, it's a genuine pleasure meeting you last Tuesday and inspecting your magnificent courthouse with you both, Michelle, and I really appreciated you spending time with us. And I'm going to just cut to the chase that we hope that we might be able to help prolong the life of the courthouse another 100 to 200 years, ridding the building of rising damp. We'll do that. And what they did is they went and they made a tour of the business, an inspection of the walls in the business, and indicated that there is moisture in the walls, which is deteriorating the walls of the courthouse in the basement. Anyway, it just goes on, and at this particular time, and like I said, Milo would come in and do a more thorough or share with us his findings or what he has found, but just something that we might keep in the back of our mind. They say that they can correct the moisture that is there. I don't know the process. They've got a website here and a procedure that they use, how they draw the moisture out of the concrete. But they said that's what really deteriorates the concrete, is when you get moisture into it and it just starts to break it down from inside out. No cost factor involved other than the fact that they said that it's a very economical way of solving this problem, and that's them talking, you know. So you know how much and where to go with that. Please note the project estimate includes a Remod Dry 10% discount as a listed building on the National Register of
Historic places. Yeah.
of historical places. The project estimate is approximately $1.33 per square foot. We have a big courthouse here, which amounts to $14,600, just to give you a heads up and an idea. And Milo will definitely expand on this information that I shared with you at the next time he reports, which is the 28th, I think he said, or something like that.
Mr. Chairman, who is that from?
The name of the company, here, I'll just start over here.
That's supposed to be good for 300 years.
Renadri.
Yeah.
They do have a website. Reno Drive?
What do you call it?
Reno Drive?
Reno Drive? I spelled it out. That's because I didn't know how to pronounce it. Reno Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the gentleman's name is Don Brown. And
They do have a website, though, that you can look at.
there is a website.
Yep.
Okay, you got that, Lee?
Yeah, thank you.
Are
All
they
right.
talking mainly about the basement?
Yeah.
Yep.
That, just to try to dry the walls out that are in that's my understanding. All right, and Milo just wanted to give us a heads up, so something that we might be thinking about. I'm sure it's something that is not in the budget. So, all right. Is there any other thing for the open at this time?
Mr. Chair, I have one thing that I would like to bring up. A few weeks ago, Chris Shilkin, who is the executive director with the Watertown Development Corporation, was in front of this commission and spoke about our discretionary formula for reduced taxation. And over the past week, I've been working on a revision to our resolution, which is 2003-3. I've had Commissioner Gable assist me with that. And we have prepared a resolution that we'd like to bring before the commission as soon as it's reviewed by our state's attorney, Becky Morlock-Reeves. That's going to change that resolution and set those rates at a lower rate for economic development in the city of Watertown. So I just wanted to put that on the radar for the rest of the commissioners, that you'll be seeing that come through soon. And if there's any constituents out there that have any questions about this, please see your commissioner and talk to them about it. We'd like to get some feedback on that as soon as possible. So just wanted to put that out there to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other thing for the open? Anything else? When will we possibly have a chance to look at this?
It's in front of our state's attorney right now for her review, and as soon as she's finished with it, I'll send it to Cindy and get it out for you to review. It's pretty short. It's a pretty short resolution.
So you did have me put it down for the agenda for next week. Should I wait until Becky?
Yeah, we may have to wait on
All
that.
right.
We may have to push it out
All right.
another week or so.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for the open? Seeing none, I have no requests for
Make a
executive
motion
session.
to
There is one
adjourn.
other thing in the packet. This affidavit of township failure to maintain mail routes. Did this come through your-
That was just in case. We've had numerous calls from the public complaining about township roads, and one caller yesterday indicated that they may appear at this meeting to ask the board to follow 31-13-18, which the property owner files a sworn affidavit with the county auditor that the township is not maintaining the township road adequately. This property owner was very upset that the road they live on had not been cleared. Apparently they had made contact with the township and did not get a satisfactory answer from the township. So the property owner, I believe, called Rick, our highway superintendent, and she's referencing this law, 31-13-18, which I did have the state's attorney look over. And if the property owner would have come in and filed a sworn affidavit with me, I would have then contacted the highway department. It should be the duty of the county auditor to cause copies of such affidavit to be served upon the clerk of the proper township and upon the chairman of the board of supervisors thereof, together with a notice that unless the repairs or maintenance referred to in the affidavit are attended to forthwith by such board, and a certificate that the same has been done needs to be delivered to the county auditor. If these repairs or maintenance are not completed by the township, then the county highway department would go in and take care of what needed to be done, and the county would then bill the township. But nobody is here to pursue this. So at this time, it's
A heads up.
it's just a heads up that there's a lot of, we've had a number of calls, and it's people complaining about their township roads, not the county roads, but the township roads,
I have
which
had
this
as
board has
well.
no jurisdiction over except for this law.
Right.
Mr. Chair, can I make one comment
Yeah.
on that? It's a difficult winter. We know that. We have tons and tons and tons of snow, and I want to commend the highway department, also the sheriff's department, and for their work that they've done this winter. This has not been an easy winter. And when you're looking at wind chills of 40, 50 below zero, and deputies are out and standing on an interstate, writing an accident report, or the highway department's out plowing open the roads as best that they can, and we're having a difficult time with our equipment this year. You guys have done an outstanding job, so kudos to both of your departments, and thanks for being here so that I could tell you that. So appreciate the work you're doing, as does, I'm sure, everyone else on this commission. So thank you.
With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Gable. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.